আসসালামু আলাইকুম শ্রোতা বন্ধুরা, আশা করি আপনারা সবাই ভালো আছেন, সুস্থ আছেন আর অবশ্যই রিল্যাক্স রেডিও টিভির সাথে আছেন। আমি হাফসা ইসলাম প্রতিদিনের মতো আপনাদের সাথে চলে আসছি। আজকে আমার সাথে, যেহেতু মঙ্গলবার, প্রতি মঙ্গলবারে আমার সাথে আমরা প্রোগ্রাম করে থাকি ট্রেনিং এর উপরে। তো আমার সাথে আছেন আব্দুল হক চৌধুরী। চলেন ওনার সাথে কথা বলি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম হক ভাই, কেমন আছেন?
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ ভালো আছি। আপনি ভালো আছেন?
জি আলহামদুলিল্লাহ অনেক ভালো আছি। আর আজকের দিন মানে মঙ্গলবার, আমি লুক ফরওয়ার্ড করি যে ট্রেনিং নিয়ে কথা বলার। আমাদের শ্রোতাদের উদ্দেশ্যে আমরা অনেক ইনফরমেশন নিয়ে আসি, ট্রেনিং নিয়ে কথা বলি। তো Tuesday is the day for us to talk about training and how to establish themselves, which is so important for us. তো আজকে আমরা কি নিয়ে কথা বলবো, কোন ট্রেনিং নিয়ে কথা বলবো, যদি একটু আমাদের
Today we are going to speak about life in the UK, Trinity ISOL A1, A2 and B1 qualification, because at the moment I have got discount 50% off until 24th of October 2020. So even if they need this qualification later next year, they'll have করতে পারবা following year. So most of the people probably এখন লাগে না, but early bird discount always will help them to save their money in this economic climate. তারা আশা করি এই ডিসকাউন্ট অ্যাকসেপ্ট করবা আর তারা ক্লাসও আইবা আর কি। সো ক্লাসও আওয়া লাগে না, তারা ইচ্ছা করলে অনলাইনও করতে পারবা অথবা তারা ইয়েও করতে পারবা, আইতাও পারবা।
Before we go to further on that, how they can do it and how it's going to be done, can we talk about what is life in the UK?
Life in the UK, when you apply for British passport, you need to satisfy the immigration officials that you have the knowledge of the life in the United Kingdom. So in life in the UK, I've never rather than anything else. You learn about different sorts of principles established in UK. You learn about the ethnic minority in UK. You learn about the people coming from Eastern Europe and Western Europe, coming from Russia and America and different parts of the world. How did they migrate to UK, and how did they integrate it to UK? Did they integrate themselves to UK, and how did they bring their culture to UK? So what happened? Life in the UK is all about integration. We have more than 100 nations living in the United Kingdom, and all of them got their different identity, different ethnicity, different background, different food, different culture, different financial activities. All of them have been included in the United Kingdom daily United Kingdom. So what happened? We learn about all of them. Also, one of the important elements of the syllabus is Edward VIII. So we talk about him, his marrying life. Also, we find out what they did to create a new religion, like it was a Protestant, to get married a new woman. So আমরা অনেক কিছু শিখি life in the UK. So it's important for us to learn about this, to learn about Britain, and integrate ourselves in the community and the society. So when I teach life in the UK, I make sure people learn a lot about integration, equity and diversity, and their democratic rights and values. So what happened, as an experienced trainer who is teaching for so many years, I always embed lots of information to my life in the UK lesson. So not only learn life in the UK, we also learn lots of things about the United Kingdom. As I have been teaching for so many years, I always put lots of practical experience and practical example in my presentation, and that make my learners to concentrate more to every lesson I deliver every week. So যেহেতু আমার experience is a real life example, they learning class অথবা ethics guidance সকল থাকে, তখন মানুষ enjoy feel করে, তারা motivation হয়. Also they learn new words, because of their learning new words, new culture and everything, তারা motivation হয়, তারা ফাস্ট করতে পারেন। তারা আমারটাই আইলে হয়তো তারা যদি কোনো ইয়োগা থাকে, দুর্বলতা থাকে, জড়তা থাকে, এটা অটোমেটিকলি খাটি যায়। It's very important. If you don't know very good English, then it's very good for you to go to someone that can guide you to pass your life in the qualification.
So someone who needs to do the life in the UK test.
Yeah.
How fluent their English has to be?
Of course, to pass in the life in the UK, before you go to life in the UK, normally they have 3 different qualifications. First of all, when they come to UK, before they get an entry clearance to United Kingdom, they have to satisfy immigration. They know until level 1 English, is mean A1. So they have to pass in their countries. And once they pass this qualification, they apply for the entry clearance to United Kingdom, they come to UK. And then when they come to UK after 2.5 years, they apply for further extension. In this case, they need A2 qualification, which is equivalent to E2, entry level 2 qualification. So if you come to Miss E2, if you go to Trinity's A2 qualification, so some of us don't believe us because they always recognize Trinity qualification. So it's A2. And then after 5 years, you need further qualification is called B1 or entry level 3, or in the language of Trinity, say grade 5. So all those examinations are secure because they believe Trinity College got robust system in place to make sure their quality, to control the examination, and to prevent fraud and corruption during the examination and assessment process.
So how do the exam the process? How does that work?
Sorry, how did he?
Examination is the process to keep
Examination process, when they come to me, it's like school children. So when they pass their exam, when they come to me, I teach them, then they practice lots of examination, and then they will sit for their own examination with the regulator provider. So I do not have any life in the UK examination. I am just tuition provider. I teach them. I'm an experienced teacher. I teach them very well, and that's what I do every time when I deliver a lesson for them. So I make sure they learn well. So I make sure everyone's same to me, and no one is zero and no one is zero. So I make sure in my classroom every individual has the right to learn, to achieve their full potential. So in this country, I'm a zero hero practice for ina. Shobam Tashuman. The foreigner, there are more time the lagi. So this is in ILP, actually individual learning plan, ILP. So I devised learning plan for individual learner. Today, I had 2 learners. I said, listen, you cannot pass your BOM examination unless you attend my Zoom lesson on Saturday, because they are very, very weak. Other 6 learners, they are very smart and they speak very well. 2 learners I found, they're 2 old ladies. They are very weak. So what happened Friday, I'll be free. I'll design a system for them so that they can learn from the beginning. So that's what I do. So everyone same to me. Somebody probably taking 10 lessons, somebody probably taking 30 lessons. They pay the same price, but they get the same pride and same results. So I can tell one example. About 2 years ago, I had one customer came from Birmingham. Her husband is just telling me so many times, brother, my wife failed her BOM examination twice. I saw your TV advert. I believe you can do it. I'll send my wife. Can you teach her? I said, that's fine. Send her to me. So when this lady came to me, all the students were speaking very well, and that lady didn't understand what I was talking about. So what I did, after the class, I said, listen, sit down. I have to teach you for an hour, individual. Then my niece is in Bangladesh, who just study in year 10. I said, listen, young lady, can you do me a favor? This lady doesn't understand English at all. Can you help me by teaching in both languages, please? And report me after 1 week. And after 1 week, she said, Sasa, this lady doesn't understand English now, and she can attend your lesson. So then I taught another week. After she passed her examination. So with me, I told everyone, listen, once you're with me, you trust, when you trust me, when you come to my premises to learn English, I think this is my examination, and that's how I teach everyone. So I put pressure on me so that my learners do not fail. So I look after everyone from the beginning. It doesn't matter whatever their color, religion, faith, what ethnicity, where are they from, everyone same to me. That's how I treat everyone, and I always support and help weak students. That's why even if they don't know English at all, we can teach from the scrap. And that's why we are famous in delivering English courses.
How successful are you in terms of
first 2 years of my A2 and B1? When I was delivering A2 and B1 courses, nobody failed. It was 100%. I think last year one lady failed. She was a 50 years old lady, and she speaks very, very good English. One of the solicitors I think it's the month of Muhib by Muhibur Rahman, one of the leader of political party. He sent me a lady, and she attended her lesson. She failed I think twice,
And
and
what
she yes, she learned very very good English, and she was speaking better than others. And one of her tutor made her fail. Then I said, listen, can I just tell them to investigate your examination, because they have to record when they take examination. যেহেতু বাঙালি মানুষ, she said, no, I don't want Pascal anymore. I just will sit for exam again. I'll sit for exam again. So I don't know what happened to her. People speaking half of her English were passing their examination. That lady failed. I don't know what happened. I wanted to chase Tentacles to release the recording, but that lady did not give me permission to do this. I said, listen, I'm your trainer. I assess you every day. You're attending every time. You do not make any single mistake when you speak, and I have full confidence to protect you. Why didn't you allow me to write an email to them to protect you? Now, so it's just an accident. Could be different people. There is when I was studying master's in philosophy in Bangladesh, they used to say nothing will happen without any reason. No one behave without any reason. If somebody smile at you, there must be reason behind the smile. If somebody cried at you before, there must be some reason before that cry. So everything, you need to understand, probably they have very good happy life. They were treated very well where they go, and that's why they behave very well. If somebody is very angry with you, always they're in bad mood, it's not that his personal behavior, it's the way they react, because they have not been treated very well in their early life. It's about tit for tat. One day I was speaking to a lady, young lady, this lady in Haggerston Park. I said, listen, hello, young lady, sweetheart. Your dogs are listening to you very well. But that guy further down in the corner, I found his dog doesn't listen to him at all. He's clapping and he's shouting at them, and they're going here and there everywhere in the park and making a mess. And what she said to me, listen, I'm a qualified dog. Dog warden. Is it dog warden? I'm a qualified dog warden. I got my level 2 qualification, and I have a patient to look after my dog. I love my dog. I give them food. I don't shout at them. I don't beat them. That's why they listen to me very well. That guy is a druggy guy. He doesn't have any qualification. He doesn't know how to look after his own pet. He's shouting, swearing, and he's not giving enough service, not looking after his dog very well. And that's why that dog behaving well. So there must be a reason behind every behavior. So
ওকে, আপনি বলছেন যে মানুষের বিহেভিয়ার কিন্তু মানুষের সমস্যার কারণে হয়।
absolutely.
They could go through a trauma in their earlier life that could put them off with many reasons. So what are the factors, or what are the issues they may have that might trigger in their later in their life, something they have faced?
Yeah, if you find a qualified English girl from Essex, you'll find she's smiling very well. First of all, her color is white. White color favors the world. Number, she's an English girl. She's an educated girl, probably a beautiful girl. Wherever she goes, people will respect her. If you find somebody from a BME background, do not speak English at all, they may not be treated the same way. So they will not behave the same way. I asked one of my friends who is an accountant one day, listen, mate, you find so English people sometimes they behave very well, and sometimes you don't find color people that don't behave well. And he was saying to me, listen, at the time I was a newcomer to UK, so he was saying to me, listen, it is not their fault. They were slaves for hundreds, thousands of years. They were slaves in their own countries. They were not treated very well, and that's why when they speak, they have angry mood.
I'm quite happy that you touched on that, because recently there's a really high percentage of people are suffering with mental health due to other reasons, and because they had been suffering when they were younger, a lot of things escalated, and many people, they are suffering because they are homebound. তারা বাসা আছে লকডাউনের কারণে। তো তাদের জন্য আপনি কি বলবেন যে তারা কি ধরনের কাজ করতে পারে?
I mean, there's something is systematic error and systematic fault. And social services was designed in the welfare state to protect families. And nobody given enough power. Nobody's superior than others. So if you think I'm a female, I'm bigger than a male, I got more right and code to protect me, it's absolutely rubbish. Court always help vulnerable people, weaker people. When court make a judgment, when court make a decision, they will look after, they will make a decision for the weak people. So when husband and wife separated, court will think these young children need a house to sleep. So they'll first of all, they'll look at where their father have the house. If they have a house, court will order, listen, give this house to their children. I mean to the mother, because mother means children, because they live with their mother unless they have any problem in their brain. So give this house to the mother to look after children. If the father does not have any house, then court will order the local authority to house them. That's how it's work. It does not mean as a female you are superior than a male. So it's all about protecting the weak and vulnerable people. Okay. So the family, what happened? Most of the cases, if you find people abusing the system so much. When you call police forces, their job is to protect the most vulnerable one. Suppose I am a man, you are a female. If you punch me, and if I just protect you, police will not arrest you, police will arrest me. So the law, the system and regulation was not designed to do this. It was designed to protect the vulnerable one, because we believe women are weak, and that's why police will react in and favor the woman to safeguard her from fighting. So when police go to premises, they will think probably this lady is vulnerable, she could be beaten, therefore take the man away. So it does not mean that women got more right. It's all about protecting the weaker people. But some people take this as an advantage. This is disgusting. This is welfare state. If you respect people's right, individual liberty, if you try to help people, they should respect the law of the land, the values and ethics. If you're in Britain, you should behave British. British doesn't mean you get a passport and then whatever you like. In America, look at America. They are the richest country on the planet, on the island. International science and technology, business industry, they are doing very well. So still, their mentality not as good as original British people, because they have migration from all around the world. Probably those people had problem in Scotland, in Asia, in Bangladesh, in India, in Pakistan, and China, because all those people migrated to the United Kingdom. And when migration happened, before about 100 years ago, very, very few wealthy people used to migrate in the USA or America. Probably they had poor background when they were in China, or Pakistan, Bangladesh, or in Asia, or in England, or Scotland, or Ireland. Because their poor background, doesn't matter how rich they are, how posh they are, still something will hit them. I just should not disclose everything to you. You know what happened after Second World War? If I show you just one of the buildings just there, I'll show you before the conversation is finished. One of my relatives is called Alta Bali. He's my fufu's uncle. He's from Khatulhar, Jagannath Fushanamgun's Selhat. And what happened? He used to work in United Nations. And after Second World War, Britain were bringing people, migration, labor workers from different parts of the world. And he was demanding our forces fight it for you during Second World War against Germany. Therefore, our people got the right to come to UK and to work. So if you look at the studies who came, if you look at the BBC program, you will see who came at the time and what happened. But end of the day, they did very well when they came to UK. Their children being educated, they're doing very well. After Gasol Zorozuli, Yota, it is Samanu, or the two bigger Nana, Turana, Yotakizai. Like it's very important. After British passport, you have behavior has to be British. You should not say British, and you should not think I'm higher than others. You should think British in your body and mind. British does not mean you just punish the weak people. British does not mean you think you are superior than others. British does mean you respect everyone. That's what we teach in life in the UK. Respect other faith and values. You respect your democratic right and other people democratic rights. You respect every color, every religion, every faith, and you do not discriminate in the workplace wherever you are practicing.
I totally agree with you, because we live in a society, especially in UK, that we live in a diverse and some multi-cultured people, multi-faith people, and many of us, it's okay to stay with your own group of people, on clan, I would say. But at the same time, you do need to mix with other people and get to know about them.
Yeah,
You never know when this will become handy, and especially if you're going into um, do the, like in our time we didn't need to do life in the UK test,
yeah,
but এখন কিন্তু সবার করতে হয় যারা এই দেশে পার্মানেন্ট রেসিডেন্টশিপ নিবেন, তাদেরকে কিন্তু করতে হয়। সো তারা যদি ধরেন আম অন্য ধরেন মুসলমান, কিন্তু অন্য ফেইথের সাথে তারা কাজ করবে না, অন্য ফেইথের সাথে মিশবেন না, অন্য কালচারের সাথে উনার অ্যাডাপ্টেশন করবেন না। তাহলে
yeah.
তাদের ক্ষেত্রে আপনি কি বলবেন? তারা কি করতে পারেন বা তাদেরকে কি বলবেন আপনি?
Sorry, would you just repeat that for me, please?
আ Many of us, we mix with multilingual, multi-talent, multi-cultured people,
Yeah,
but অনেকে কিন্তু মিশতে চান না। ওনারা ওনাদের গ্রুপের সাথেই থাকতে চান। আমি মুসলিম, আমি মুসলমানদের সাথে থাকবো। আমি হিন্দুদের সাথে মিশবো না। বিকজ হিন্দু কালচার আমাদের জন্য না। হিন্দু ফেইথ আমাদের জন্য না। তো এই যে একটা আমাদের ধারণ, যে একটা রিলিজিয়ন নিয়ে বা একটা গ্রুপ অফ পিপল নিয়ে, আমরা কি তাদের সাথে মিশা উচিত না? যাতে তাদেরকে আমরা বুঝতে পারি, তাদের সাথে মিশা উচিত। যাতে অন্য একটা কালচারকে আমরা জানা উচিত। তো এটা যদি না করি, তাহলে লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকে টেস্টের জন্য তো তারা অনেক সমস্যা হতে পারে।
হ্যাঁ, হচ্ছে আমরা সবাই তো আদম সন্তান, যে বেটা হিন্দু ওটা আদম সন্তান, যে বেটা খ্রিস্টান ওটা আদম সন্তান, ঠিক আছে নি? সবাই মানুষ। এখন হয়তো পাবলিক ধর্ম নিয়ে মারামারি করে। ভেরি very sad about the situation. You find different countries are sorry dominated by different powerful dictator, and they torture their own people in the
হুম,
name of religion. This is quite disgusting. In the civilized world, in this century, we should not say this. And what happened? If you see anything like this in Muslim countries, then you'll see a foreign invasion there. If you see any non-Muslim countries, people killing their minority, powerful nation do not respect. So people used to say, Hillary Clinton used to say one day that woman right is human right. I would say today that Muslim right is human right. Muslim are being tortured in their own countries more than non-Muslim countries. You'll find in UK, Muslim are safe. In USA, Muslim are safe. But Muslim are not safe in Saudi Arabia. Muslim are not safe in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, and India, because they do not have any democratic practice. It's very important to have a democratic value and practice. So it's all about tolerating others. So ikana Muslim Hindu kunu bedabed nai. All about everybody Adam Shantan same. I went to a Muslim school in Bangladesh. When I went to school, secondary school, I used to put hat in there. But in UK, I work with every community. I run training for almost every community, including Jewish community in North London. So I never ever discriminate anyone. I never do that. If you live in a country like this, you have more than 100 nations. You never discriminate anyone for their color, race, or religion, or for their ethnicity. Then you create disturbances in the community and the society. Suppose you are a Bengali woman. Now, if I have a black woman next to me, if you come, just if both of you approach me for water, if I were you, I'll get black lady first, because if I don't give her water first, she will think he's not giving water because I'm black. That's how we behave in mainstream businesses in this country. I used to work in mainstream, and that's what we did. We used to work for Debenham. So what happened when we search people? Suppose you have got English girl, Bengali girl, and black girl. We never search black girl first. She will think, listen, I'm black, and that's why he suspected me. We say first of all, we ask the English girl, excuse me, sweetheart, can you come here, please? It's a procedure. Can I search you? She will have a smile and say, yes, go for it. Then we'll search the Asian one, and then we'll search the black one. That's how it's work. After search for them, first of all, he will get negative sentiment. Probably I'm search for it. Technique as a diplomacy as a.
Now, when we were younger, অনেকে যেমন স্কুল থেকে আমাদেরকে বাইরে নিয়ে যেত। ধরেন ইসে নিয়ে গেছে আপনার চার্চে নিয়ে গেছে, তারপরে সিনেগগে নিয়ে গেছে, তারপরে আপনার মানে রিলিজিয়াস এডুকেশনের জন্য। তো আমি যখন ছোট ছিলাম, আমাদের ক্লাসমেট অনেকেই তারা অ্যালাউড ছিল না। বাবা-মা অ্যালাউ করত না। কারণ বলতেন যে, "তুমি মুসলমান, তুমি চার্চে যেতে পারবে না। তুমি মুসলমান, তুমি মন্দিরে যেতে পারবে না। তুমি মুসলমান, তুমি সিনেগগে যেতে পারবে না।" কিন্তু এটা তো আমরা ওখানে গিয়ে প্রেয়ার করছি না। ওইখানে গিয়ে জাস্ট একটা স্টাডির জন্য যাওয়া হচ্ছে, যাতে আমরা অন্য একটা ধর্মকে শিখি। তো আপনি কি বলবেন যে এটা কি ছোটবেলা থেকে আমাদেরকে এই যে একটা নর্ম বা একটা যে ইয়ে থেকে ডিসক্রিমিনেশন শেখানো হচ্ছে, এইটা থেকে বাইরে হয়ে কিভাবে বাবা-মারা আসতে পারেন আর কি করতে পারেন? বাচ্চাদেরকে কিভাবে গড়তে
Um,
পারেন?
honestly speaking, I would not speak about religion, and I would make a
না,
judgment
আমি
or
জাস্ট একটা
decision.
রিলিজিয়ন বলছি না তো। এইটা একটা এক্সাম্পল বলছি যে আপনার যেটা
Because what happened at the moment, all around the world, people
এমন
are just sorry.
এমনও হয় যে আমি সাদাদের সাথে মিশতে পারবো না। আমি কালোদের সাথে মিশতে পারবো না। কারণ তাদের যে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড বা তাদের যে লিভিং স্টাইল আমি এটা অ্যাডপ্ট করে ফেলবো। তো এই জিনিসটা যে আমাদের বাবা-মারা যে বাচ্চাদেরকে ছোটবেলা থেকে একটা আম ইয়ের মধ্যে গড়ে ফেলেন যে স্টেরিওটাইপ করে ফেলেন। স্টেরিওটাইপ ইয়ের মধ্যে তুলে দেন। এই জিনিসটা কি আমাদের করা উচিত? আপনিও তো একজন বাবা। আপনি কি
Um,
করবেন?
I mean, if you live in a multicultural country, then
জি,
you should mix and match with every community. আপনি শুরু করতে পারতেন না, বাট খালা বাটা সাদা not meet. You should meet with everyone. You should go with everyone. ঠিক আছে নি? If you divide people, then there should be more division. There should be more problem and more chaos. You never ever do this. Like, even after heart is like that, never disclose it. If you do it, then you create a problem for the whole nation. Okay, if one person, suppose you are a white lady, if I hate you, then it create problem. Then you hate an Asian man, then you creating more problem. So you should never ever do this. Always tolerate every community, tolerate every faith, every religion, tolerate every color. And if you have chance, meet them, go with them. I would not say you pick up something there from the religion. You are Muslim, stick to your religion. Don't practice what is not allowed according to Islam, Quran, and Sunnah.
আমি শুধু ইসলামের ধর্মের দিক দিয়ে বলি নাই। আমি জাস্ট এইটা একটা উদাহরণস্বরূপ বলছিলাম। বাট
Mm.
এরকম আছে যে আপনি বাচ্চারা যে অন্য কালচারের সাথে, অন্য লোকের সাথে, অন্য একটা ডাইভার্স কমিউনিটির সাথে মিশলে কিন্তু তাদেরকে একটা পোর্ট্রেট করা হবে যে সে বোধহয় বাঙালি হয়ে এদের সাথে মিশতেছে তাহলে খারাপ হয়ে যাবে। এই যে তারা কিন্তু জাজমেন্টাল হয়ে যান। চিন্তা করুন সে এই লোকটা সাদা একটা লোকের সাথে যদি আমি মিশি, সে যে খারাপ হবে তা কিন্তু না। সে হয়তো আমাদের বাঙালির চেয়েও ভালো হতে পারে। তার যে নেচার, তার যে ইয়ে বিশ্বাস কিন্তু ভালো হতে পারে। তো এই জিনিসটা বুঝাতে চাচ্ছি যে আমরা কিন্তু ছোটবেলা থেকে বাচ্চাদেরকে আপনি যেহেতু মাল্টি কালচার এর কথা বলছেন, মাল্টি সোসাইটির সাথে কাজ করা বা মিঙ্গল হওয়া, এইটা কিন্তু আমাদেরকে অনেক সময় বাধা দিয়ে থাকে। কারণ আমাদের পূর্বপুরুষ বা আমাদের বাবা-মা বা আমাদের আত্মীয়স্বজন বলছে যে, "তুমি তাদের সাথে মিশতে পারবে না। মিশলে কিন্তু তোমার সমস্যা হবে। তুমি এরকম করে যাবা। তাদের মতো কাপড়-চোপড় পরা আরম্ভ করে দিবা।" কিন্তু আমরা তো ছোটবেলা থেকে আমি অনেক আম কি বলবো যে আমরা যখন নতুন এদেশে আসি, তখন কিন্তু আমরা যে এরিয়াতে থাকতাম বাঙালি কম ছিল। সব সাদাদের সাথেই আমরা বড় হয়েছি।
Yeah.
আমি আমার কালচার, আমি আমার ধর্ম, আমি আমার সবকিছু ভুলে গেছি। We used to practice that at home. বাট বাইরে গিয়ে স্কুলের বাচ্চাদের সাথে আমরা সুন্দর খেলাধুলা করতাম, বাইরে গিয়ে খেলতাম। তো এই জিনিসগুলো কিন্তু আমাদেরকে অ্যাডপ্ট করতে হবে। তো আপনি কি মনে করেন যে বাবা-মারা এই ধরনের বাচ্চাদেরকে ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি দেওয়া উচিত বা বাচ্চাদেরকে
Man,
দেওয়া উচিত?
children should be free to enjoy their life, but with a limitation. You should keep an eye. They're under 16, and you should have total all-out control on them. So you should not allow them that will affect their mental health, physical health, or their culture or their faith. So you should do something that will protect them. So it doesn't mean you stop them from going with others. Okay, I don't believe it. Okay, if you live in a I mean, if you do it, then you create so much problem. You create division, and division always create more division, then will create more problem. We don't want it. It's happening in Asian Muslim countries everywhere. They always divide. Their imam give good khutbah. Their charities raise money. They never ever speak about stop division. Okay, give words about uniting. Okay, Muslim people. Give words about the hereafter, But you will see in every mosque they give lots of khutbah. Even the holy Imam of Holy Kaaba will see lots of dua and everything. But you don't see that much approach from people to unite people. And it's happened only in Muslim countries. Division is dangerous, and you should never ever allow division. Allah banda holo shaman. Jebata Hindu manas, jebata Musliman, eo manas, jebata party or eo manas, jebata party or eo manas. So division is dangerous. You should never ever allow division. Those people who would divide people for their personal benefit, they are shit cowboys. I hate them.
Of course. তো এইটাই বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে আমরা আসলে আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা যে ধরেন আমরা যদি ছোটবেলা থেকে বা আমরা যদি এরকম কালচারের সাথে বড় হই বা মিঙ্গল হই আমরা অন্যান্য কমিউনিটির সাথে, তাহলে কিন্তু আমাদের যে লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকে যে অনেকগুলো কোয়েশ্চেন আছে ওইগুলো কিন্তু অটোমেটিকলি আমরা এক্সারসাইজ করছি। We should be able to answer those questions so easily. Rather than ওইটা প্র্যাকটিসের সাথে আপনি যে শিখাবেন ওইটা কিন্তু theatrical সাইডে কিন্তু আপনি ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে পারছেন।
That's why I tell them all the time when I run lesson, and every time I tell them when I talk about ethnicity, so equity and diversity, I tell them everything. So that's what you will face in real life situation. But don't do this. Do this. You don't use hate word. Sorry, I'm about using hate word. Don't use hate word against anyone. If you don't like them, just shut up. Don't speak anymore. You do not criticize people. If you don't like them, just stay away from them. If you do not change them, that's fine. But don't create problem for yourself or for others. So when we teach them, even in schools, you will see in this country from nursery to even to sixth form schools, all the time they implement equity and diversity. They talk about individual liberty and they talk about ethnicity and equal right. So এটা কিন্তু স্কুলে দেশে শেখানো হয়, ঠিক আছে, from the beginning of their life. এর লাগে আপনাদের দেশে হতেন জানলে তারা at least it understand. They do understand very well, and they implement this in their workplace.
Okay. Back in the UK, what age do they have to do the test?
There is no age limitation. If they would like to apply for passport, they should pass this qualification.
So someone, parents come to this country, and they have a child who is 3-4 years old who came with them. So do they need to go through that as well?
Last time I was speaking to Sarita just behind me in commercial, in New Road, and she's a European lady, and she says, I was grown up in UK. I came here when I was 2. And now they're asking me to sit for life in the UK examination to get my British passport. I don't need it because I have European passport. I have the right to go to 28 other countries. So I will not apply for British passport. British passport as a European যারা আছে সাদা মানুষ তারা লাগে অতটা important না, because তারা যদি তাদের passport থাকে, somebody got passport from Hungary, they have the right to. There are 28 members as a country, Germany, France. They can go anywhere and they can work. They have access to everything. তারা ব্রিটিশ পাসপোর্ট নিলে হয়তো একটা কান্ট্রি না কারণ আমরা এখন পাবলিক যারা বাংলাদেশ থেকে, পাকিস্তান থেকে, ইন্ডিয়া থেকে, শ্রীলঙ্কা থেকে আন, তারা কিন্তু ওটা লোহাও লাগে, এছাড়া কিন্তু তার লাগে আর কোনো বেটার অপশন নয়। সেই যদি আপনার পোল্যান্ড থেকে, if he doesn't like UK, so just leave it. I'll go to Germany to work, which is more healthier and richer nation. So ওগুলা নাকি, so ইউরোপিয়ান পাবলিক, সাদা পাবলিক যারা ইউরোপিয়ান তারা কিন্তু ব্রিটিশ পাসপোর্ট লাগে অত বেশি করে না। আমরা মানুষের লাগে এখানে তারা হচ্ছে আর কোনো বেটার অপশন নাই। এখন আগে বাংলাদেশ থেকে পাবলিক to make money. Nowadays, a lot of rich people coming in for fair treatment, fair judgment, good food, good health, good culture. So if you look at the last 2 years migration from China, from different part of the world, you will see so many rich and wealthy educated people came to UK, not for money, just for better life. I mean, one example, my nephew, who's a doctor, who never spoke in his young life without any smile in Bangladesh. We never say anything negative still now against anyone, even if he doesn't like it. And you will find this type of boys very rare in Bangladesh. He could not live in, he was one son of his one mom. He could not live in Bangladesh peacefully because he was poisoned by, he went to politics. And then he has to leave the country just for the sake of politics. So it is very, very important. Like that's why I do not like politicians, those divide people. You should never ever divide people. By being united, you become stronger, you become richer, you become happier. Five finger, if I hold this tightly, it's become more stronger. I grip it nicely. If I hold it one finger, there is a chance to have a fall. So therefore, it is very, very, very important. Division is never ever good for anyone. You will find all the division in Muslim countries.
Division is created by us. Parents
Yeah,
create Koran.
yeah. You will see when you see lectures, they always criticize against each other. They never unite. You are dying. You people are dying everywhere. At the moment, Muslims are the most vulnerable people in every country, in every nation, even in Saudi Arabia. If you speak truth, you don't get away with it. You face severe punishment. So Muslim right is the human right. Muslims are tortured everywhere. They are not tortured probably in Britain or America, but they torture in their own country and tortured by the dictators everywhere. And you will see, when you look at the YouTube, you will see so much worse. They always criticize each other. They never talk about unity. All of them Muslim, they want to go to Jannah, they want to make sure people are happy in this life and the hereafter, but they're never ever talking about unity. They're never ever talking about stop fight, respect others. They never do that. But that's what we teach in Life in the UK lesson, to be united, to respect other values and fight. And that's why Britain is a happier nation. We never disclose anything that we don't like each other.
You just put it so nicely together. Everything together sounds so good. Why there is a need of Life in the UK test.
Of course, because I used to teach in secondary schools, and I know how does it work. So not only we learn from books, also we learn from practical experience. Every section in UK, whether the primary, secondary, sixth form, everywhere, they have their own policy and procedure about discrimination, about so many things. I saw so many cases when I used to teach in a sixth form college in Stockton. I found they're using different words, saying curry, saying kababish, and Turkish children complained with her. I was so angry because at the time I was young. I was so angry. And then I had to speak a lot about some of these words. So I never tolerated it. Doesn't matter whether the Turkish, they should not be kababish. Doesn't matter whether Bengali or Indian, they should not be curries. But young children, they do it, but when they grow up, they don't do it.
Yeah.
So when they grow up, they don't do it. They cannot do it. If I do it in my workplace, my employer will sack me. Okay, it's against the law. So probably young children do it, but when they grow up, they don't do it. They cannot do it. This is not tolerated according to English legislation.
Previously, we didn't need to do Life in the UK. Do you think we should have done that? Then it might have opened our revenue, kind of how we look into the society.
Life in the UK, no, we do not make that much money. Just exam fee is £50. So Britain makes most of the money from foreign students, like British Council in overseas, making billions of pounds selling every year because they take IGCSE examination in every countries, and this is a money generator, big money generator. Also, we have students coming from all around the world. China, one of the country in, I think Vietnam is one of the massive market. We have a student coming from Saudi Arabia. So Arabian people, they like America. I don't know why. They go to America more than Britain. So people, English is the language of English people of Britain. Yeah, so people should learn English from here. And if they want to get education, further degrees, we welcome people to come here to study and get better degrees. Like Malaysian international students, they came here, they learned very well. Then they went to their country, they implemented their knowledge, and that's how they developed Malaysia. If you look at 1960s, you will see Malaysia was more poor than Bangladesh, because there are people that love their country. They educated in Britain. They put their knowledge and practice in Malaysia to develop their nation, and that's why they became Malaysia. Today's Malaysia. It doesn't happen in Bangladesh. Usually in Bangladesh is like, and the people, whatever they can do, grab it, and they put it to Swiss bank. They put to Canadian bank. They send it to them to America. They know I made this money illegally from Bangladesh. I don't want my next generation to be in fire. I'll put them to one of my friends is a doctor in Bangladesh, a civil servant. He was telling me last time, close friend, we studied in school at the same time. Yes, he is telling me, listen, I don't want my children to stay in this country after their 11 because I had so much love for the country, and that's why I did not teach them English, send them to English medium school. I sent them to Bengali school, but because of the situation, I don't want my children to be in Bangladesh. After they finish the intermediate, I will send them to Britain, America, Canada. I'm working very hard. I can see everything. There is no justice, and I will send all of them to go overseas.
Wow. বাংলাদেশের মানুষ যদি বসে এরকম চিন্তা করেন যে বাচ্চাদেরকে বিদেশ পাঠিয়ে দিবেন, তাহলে বাংলাদেশে এইটা তো একটা আসলে খুব দুঃখজনক ব্যাপার যে we were born brought up in Bangladesh. I mean, I had no choice. I came with my parents, but if I had a choice, I think I would rather stay in Bangladesh. But having said that, যে বাংলাদেশের যে পরিস্থিতি, এইটা নিয়ে কিন্তু অনেক মানুষের চিন্তা যে বাংলাদেশের যে সিচুয়েশন গুলা হচ্ছে অনেক কিছু মিলে এগুলো নিয়ে আসলে ভাবায় যে আমরা আসলে বাংলাদেশে গিয়ে কি করবো বা বাংলাদেশে যারা আছে তাদের জন্য খারাপ লাগে। এখন এই যে কিছু সিচুয়েশন আপনিও জানেন, আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে যে গণধর্ষণ বা মার্ডার করা, পুলিশ একটা লোককে মেরে ফেললো। এইগুলো মিলে সব মিলে কিন্তু ব্যাপারগুলো এমন ভাবে হয়ে দাঁড়িয়েছে এই কোভিড এর মধ্যে এই ধরনের সিচুয়েশন মানে আনএক্সপেক্টেড। হ্যাঁ,
what happened? Actually, I studied MC College. My uncle studied, who were High Commissioner of Pakistan government to United Nations. Another one was High Commissioner of Bangladesh government during Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So my uncle were educated in MC College. My eldest brother was educated. My eldest sister was educated. All of us went to intermediate to study our intermediate in MC College. And most of the intellectuals coming from MC College, because it's one of the famous college for intermediate in the southeastern part of Bangladesh. You will see, if you look at current government, you will see we had about 300 students. You'll just few of them at the moment, DCs of current government, some of them DS deputy secretaries, some of them head of university teaching association, some of them head of department, some of the university teacher in Canada, some of them in universities in the UK. It's just one batch. So MC college যারা intermediate পড়ালেখা করে তারা কিন্তু very very intellectual people. Even if you look at Tower Hamlet, all the top solicitor firm, training provider, all of them background, if you look at them, one day they studied intermediate in MC College. Isn't it? So MC College into is of Atash or something, I'm not quite sure, at the end of 18th century. Dhaka University is in 19 something, 21 or something like this. But you know, MC College is a Tarok into 40 years, about 40 years ago. So MC College যখন হয়েছে আমার প্রচুর সাবজেক্ট আছে, মাস্টার ডিগ্রি গুলো আছে, অনার্স আছে। পরে যখন আপনার পাকিস্তান গভর্নমেন্ট হয়েছে, নয়া নয়া ইউনিভার্সিটি হচ্ছে গুরুত্ব কমে আছে, দেন বাংলাদেশ গভর্নমেন্ট হয়েছে, নয়া নয়া ইউনিভার্সিটি গুরুত্ব কমে আছে। বাট ইট হ্যাজ ম্যাসিভ গ্রাউন্ড। রাজা গিরিশচন্দ্র সেনে প্রচুর জায়গা সম্পত্তি তৈরি গেছেন এমসি কলেজের লাগে, এটা কোনোদিন হয়েছে না। আই ডোন্ট ব্লেম, আই ক্যান নট জাস্ট সিম্পলি ব্লেম দিস বয়েজ। এই বয়েজ হলে কিন্তু আসলে কন্ট্রোল করা কিন্তু দরকার আছে, বিকজ করাপ্টেড কালচার create corrupted people. They are just master degree student or degree student. I mean, it's all about the divider, the central point of command and control. If they have ethics, they would implement ethics in everywhere. Okay, so I just should not blame the young man for the rape. They are guilty. At the same time, the system, police, and procedure that allowed this happen, they are liable as well.
Shouldn't that be part of the education? আপনি একজন ট্রেনার হিসাবে আপনি কি বলবেন? Shouldn't that be part of education? How to এই যে সিচুয়েশন গুলা বিদ্যালয়ের মধ্যে সমস্যাগুলো হচ্ছে, তো shouldn't that be part of the education? যে এই জিনিসটা করা বা
কোন শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান তো আপনাকে কুশিক্ষা দেয় না, কোনো মা বাপ তার সন্তানকে বাদ শিক্ষা দেয় না। একটা চুর হলেও সে চাইবে না তার সন্তান বাদ হোক।
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই।
কোনো শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান কখনো কিন্তু তার স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বাজে শিক্ষা দেয় না। কোন বাবা মা কিন্তু তার সন্তানকে বাদ দেয় না। সে নিজে ঘুষ করতে পারে, সে চাইবে তার ছেলে ঘুষ খাওয়াতে চায় না। So সব মানুষই চায় তার সন্তান তারা সবাই ভালো থাকুক।
বাট এই জিনিসটা আমাদের মধ্যে হচ্ছে কি কারণে? কারণ কি হতে পারে?
I don't know. I'm not in Bangladesh, and I cannot make any comment about this.
As a society as a whole, কেন হচ্ছে? ওই যে এই দেশে যে দর্শন হয় না তা না, কিন্তু হচ্ছে বা মার্ডার হচ্ছে। ইদানিং যে জিনিসটা দেখা যাচ্ছে আমাদের এশিয়ান কালচারের মধ্যে বা এশিয়ান গ্রুপের মধ্যে, তাদের মধ্যে একজন আরেকজনের সাথে ঝগড়া লেগে যায়, তারপর নাইফ ক্রাইম হচ্ছে, ড্রাগ নেওয়া হচ্ছে। তো এগুলো কেন হচ্ছে? আপনি কি ধারণা? আমরা কিভাবে এটার প্রতিরোধ করতে পারি?
Knife crime হচ্ছে এটা তো আসলে community policing is very important. I mean, we need more police in the high street to prevent those events. At the same time, parents got a duty to look after their own children. They need to make sure where they are going. আমি সবসময় যখন মানুষের, let me give you a burning example. When my students come here, I got lots of young ladies coming here to learn A2 and B1. And one thing I tell them every time, you are living in Britain, believe me, a good friend is a good bank. You know, when you go to bank, you get money from there. When you go to a good bank, when you have a good friend, it will help you to flourish and nourish peacefully and happily. If you got a wrong friend, if you have a friendship with wrong people, your life become hell. So আমি সবসময় ও জিনিসটা পাবলিকরে কই আর কি, তারা তাদের সবসময় আপনার গুড ফ্রেন্ড গুলোকে থাকুন। ফ্রেন্ডশিপ ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। দে শুড বি উইথ আদার পিপল অ্যান্ড দে শুড নেভার এভার গো উইথ রং পিপল। বাঙালি চিলড্রেন হল তারা কোন কারণে এটা হয়, তারা সঙ্গ দুশোর কারণে এটা হয়। যেমন I know some people, their parents are very good people, but they children grow up in probably in East London and they had wrong friendship and they started taking started taking knife, hitting each other. It's happened, but it's very important. It's about good parentship. So আপনি parent হিসেবে আপনি মনে করতেই পারেন shepherd আপনি বুঝানি ইংলিশ shepherd আপনি বুঝতে পারেন মেষ পালক, ও ছাগলটারে আমি লইয়া যাইরাম আমার বাচ্চা দেখো শিল্লো আগ বন্ধু এগুলো লগে আমি ছাগলের লগে গেলাম তার রাখাল টাকা ধরে ই শুড বিহেভ the same. আপনি সেম ভাবে তারা কন্ট্রোল রাখতে হইবা। and up to 16 15 বছর পর্যন্ত যেন কন্ট্রোল করতে পারবেন, their control আর তারা উল্টা পাল্টা করতো না। So young age আপনি কি it's very important to keep an eye what are they doing, where they're going with. And also if they don't have একটা জিনিস করে খালি মাত্র গিয়ে আপনার শয়তানের আখড়া, if they don't have anything to do, tell them to do some voluntary work. They can go to library to do some voluntary work and they can register for local organization to help the vulnerable people in the community, in the society. If they go out and about with good people, if they help people, they will learn something, and that's how they will reflect in their real life. So I mean, it's very important. You shouldn't allow them all the time to go with wrong people. If they go with wrong children, they will achieve something wrong, and that will damage their life. I will tell you one example. Just give me 1 minute. I know one example. One family, they had so much money, assets, and everything. And what happened? One of their son, they never realized. Police raided them. Raided their house. About 10 houses to arrest us, and they were surprised. My son, police has raided everything. Just give me 1 second, please. So my son, they are thinking that my son, what they did. Sorry, 1 second. They are thinking that we never realized that my son is going to have drug, and then later on they found from police investigation that boy was trading drug. Now he's in jail for so many years, more than a decade.
So
and I think something wrong in policing as well, because it should be, I have seen lots of Bengali boys selling drugs everywhere. You will see they're stopping and giving drug and they're running away. They don't bother. Sometimes they will hit you. So if you see these young people going next to you, just go to one side of the road and don't try to go very close. They don't bother about the traffic rules and regulation. So it is really, really pathetic and painful. and something. I mean, it should be some source of control when people import and export them. I mean, we should not just arrest young people. We should stop this buying and selling in our market before they arrive. So it's very important. Is border control. Who is smuggling them? Who is bringing them? Who is dealing to corrupt our young people? Catch them and punish
But
them.
I heard that one of the drug, I don't know which one, because I'm not into all this information, but I heard that one of this drug is made legal, so people can take it for their own health, to improve their health. I think is the cannabis or one of them. I don't know.
I think it's in Canada. If there are medical reasons, if doctors certify them, then we have nothing to do about it because doctors are qualified professional and
No,
they
no,
know.
it's not just
Yeah.
for medical reason. They're
Mm.
allowed to intake certain amount of dose of this drug. I don't know which one it is, but and you can smell this on the street every single day, on your balcony, on your going up the stairs in the flat. You can smell it everywhere. It's like
Let me
became,
let me tell you one real life example in my life. You know, when I was a foreign student, I used to live just down that corner next to Olympic ground in Stratford in East London. And when I finished work in Debenham on weekends, Saturday, I used to come home about 6 o'clock in the evening. And I used to find lots of boys from different community. They're sitting in our stairs between first floor and second floor, and there is no air circulation. What they do, all of them taking drug, everything is closed. I'm passing their stairs, and I took. I mean, when I was passing this, I took so much. When I went upstairs, I said, "Listen, I never feel so happy in my life. What happened to me?" Then I realized because I passed, because those boys close the door, they don't allow the drug to go outside. Though they close the door, there is no ventilation. All the drugs were in there, and I inhalated it. Then next time, the following morning, I found police officer. It was a colored guy. I said, "Listen, what are you doing? You're just walking around. Didn't know you cannot live there. Young boys always taking drug and we cannot live happily. What are you doing?" So young, I found the community police just walking. I was very angry with it. Okay, next time, please come here and see what are they doing. They should not be in here. They're not allowed to come to this private property. Okay, they're sitting down, all of them taking drug at the same time. Everything was closed. I was very happy with police, and I was telling one of these guys, "Listen, mate, just don't do work in the street. Please keep an eye inside the building. We cannot go inside because all is drug problem."
of course. ড্রাগস তারপরে এই যে বাচ্চাদেরকে আমরা যে আপনি বলছিলেন যে শেপার্ডের মতো আমরা গাইড করা দরকার। up to the age of I believe that up to the age of 19, 20 পার হয়ে গেলে কিন্তু ওই চিন্তাটা হয়ে যায় যে বাচ্চাটা খারাপ পথে চলে যাবে। বাচ্চারা বন্ধু-বান্ধবদের যে একটা সঙ্গ যে তাদেরকে করতে পারে ওদের থেকে কিন্তু তোমরা বাইর হয়ে যায়। তো আজকে আমরা কথা বলছিলাম লাইফ ইন দি ইউকে নিয়ে।
Yeah, yes, thank you. Can I just say something before I finish? Probably we're finishing in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So what happened at the moment, Eastern Training is giving 50% discount to all courses related to immigration. I think A1, A2, B1, and Life in the AK. So until 24th of October, everyone from every community get 50% discount for all these courses. A1, A2, B1, Life in the UK. So if you don't need this qualification at the moment, probably you need Life in the UK next year. If you get an admission before 24th of October, you get 50% discount. I mean, if I were you, I'll take the ultimate discount and save my money for the foreseeable future. That's it.
থ্যাংক ইউ। তো আজকে আমাদের ছিল লাইফ ইন দি ইউকে নিয়ে কথা বলা। তো যাওয়ার আগে একটা জিনিস জানতে চাই, লাইফ আপনারা তো জানি কোভিড এর সিচুয়েশনে প্রতিবারই আমি একই কোয়েশ্চেন জিজ্ঞেস করি, বাট আমাদের শ্রোতাদের উদ্দেশ্যে বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে how you're doing your programs or running your sessions?
At the moment, I use Zoom to run most of my lesson. It's more easier for us because it's safe for everyone. So it's not a good idea to bring so many learners in my premise. You don't know got COVID. Some people even don't show any sign of symptom, and therefore it's very important to protect my learners and protect myself. I appreciate to teach via using Zoom or Skype. So at the, I think 75% of the learner are attending online. So I prefer not to come here, attend lesson. If you live nearby, then come down. But also I have cut my class size. Before I used to take a big group, now I do not take more than 5 people. It is dangerous. You have to maintain social distancing. It's very tough at the moment because you do not have any vaccine in place, and therefore it's not worthwhile to gather in one place. I mean, একটা জিনিস করে না বাংলা প্রতিকার প্রতিশোধের সাথে কিতা না bala. So after নিশ্চয় কিছু হইবার আগে স্কুল control method, effective control is very important. Do something in advance before something happen. If you maintain social distancing, if you protect yourself, then you don't have to go to hospital. You don't have to go out of work. It do not create problem in the community and the society by creating more infection. Therefore, it's very important. Listen to government guidelines. Listen to the news. Make sure you keep social distancing. Wash your hands. Allah Nabi at-tuhuru shatrul iman. Neat and cleanliness is a part of your faith. So আপনি যেটা লিখবি সইলে সব সময় ছোট একটা disinfectant ওলাখান রাখবা আর পরিষ্কার করবা কোনো কিছু খাইবা না হাত না ধুইয়া and then please make sure social distancing is very important. Suppose আমারটা সামনে স্ক্রিন আছে তার বাদেও আমি ওটা স্ক্রিন ইউজ করি to protect myself. So it's very important. If you do not protect yourself, nobody is going to protect you. And if so many people are hospitalized, we'll become poor. Where will the money come from? So many people will die. Then we have to look after everyone, their families and everything. So therefore, it's very important to make the nation happy and healthy, to go back to normal life again, to run our business to the industry one more time. We should listen to NHS advice and government health guidelines.
Thank you so much for coming in today. It was, I mean, আপনার সাথে প্রোগ্রাম করতে খুব ভালো লাগে। আপনি অনেক সুন্দর কথা বলেন, অনেক ইনফরমেশন দেন যেটা আমাদের শ্রোতাদের হয়তো ওনারা এনজয় করেন বা ওনাদের কাজে লাগবে ভবিষ্যতে। তো আমরা যাওয়ার আগে আপনি শ্রোতাদের উদ্দেশ্যে কিছু বলেন, তারপর আমরা চলে যাব।
যে যেখানে আছেন, thank you for listening to us and for spending time to listen to us. Also, আপনারা make sure আপনি social distance maintain করেন, always listen to government advice. আপনি নিজেরা ক্লিন রাখবা, পরিষ্কার পরিচ্ছন্ন রাখবা, হাত না দিয়ে কিছু সইবা না বা খাইবা না। And বাচ্চা যেহেতু স্কুলে যায়, I mean, if I were you, tell them তোমরা আইসো স্কুল থেকে পয়লা বাথরুমে কাপড় খুলে শাওয়ার করিলাম, because children না তা কোভিড হলে 4 দিন আপনার যায় গিয়ে আপনি দেখবেন। আমি দেখছি, I have seen some families রুত্তান্তর কিন্তু অ্যান্টিবডি যেটা স্ট্রং থাকে, কোভিড যদি হয় একদিন আইলে 4 দিন যায় গিয়ে, তার মা বাবার যখন হয় তখন 2 হপ্তাহ 3 হপ্তাহ 4 হপ্তাহ টানাটানি করে, স্কুল লেট টু হসপিটাল অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট। দেওয়ার আমি উঠে কই যে আপনার রুত্তান যদি স্কুল থেকে প্লিজ আপনি দোয়া করলে তার বাথরুমে মায়া দোয়া শাওয়ার করে লোক কাপড় যা আছে দই লোক, তারপরে বেডনিয়া রাখুকা। আসলে কিচ্ছু করার নাই, আল্লাহটাই কইতে হইব। আর কিছু ভ্যাকসিন আল্লাহ যদি সেফ গার্ড করে আমরা, তাহলে এর কথা লক্ষ্য হইব। এটা ছোট্ট একটা সরি ভাইরাস is more dangerous. Like a powerful country like America is struggling, they cannot control it. A virus which is 45,000 times smaller than a rice grain is so dangerous. We cannot protect ourselves from this. আল্লাহটাই মাফ চাইতে হইব, বালাহাম করতে হইব আর কি। So I mean, after this virus, I always prepare for my own death. Tahajjud namaz every day for it. I became so pious after this COVID-19 because you don't know what will happen to you. So one of my friend, a famous doctor in Bangladesh, Usmani medical assistant professor of medicine, he died at the beginning of the pandemic in Bangladesh. Who looked after my mom very well when my mom had an operation in Nur Jahan Hospital, who was helping so much, calling doctor, arranging operation, and then he died. He was a man for poor people. He used to charge nothing to poor people, and that man died at the beginning of the pandemic this year. Bad like Allah should say, they try to serve our people, but the health professionals sometimes they sacrifice their life to look after ourselves. And like আমরা কিতা করতাম, respect every individual. আমরা কিতা করতাম, hospital যাইতাম না। একটা জিনিস আমি সব সময় every training আমি যখন listen, Keep yourself fit and healthy. Don't get sick. If you become sick, we become poor. Because of the welfare state, আমরা তো এটা ট্রিটমেন্ট হওয়া লাগবে। ট্রিটমেন্ট করতে হলে পয়সা তো লাগবে। পয়সা কই থেকে আইব? গভর্নমেন্ট থেকে আইব। তখন গভর্নমেন্টে দিলে আমরা তো পুয়ার হইব। Therefore, very important. আপনি যদি হেলথি থাকেন, আপনি যদি স্বাস্থ্য ভালো থাকে, হসপিটাল যান না, we become more happy, more richer and more healthy. And therefore, it's very important আমরা সবসময় সোশ্যাল ডিস্টেন্স গভর্নমেন্টের গাইডলাইন মেনটেন করতাম। Thank you very much for listening. Is there any further questions, sister?
That's it for today. And আগামী আবার কোন একটা প্রোগ্রামে মানে প্রোগ্রামে আমরা অবশ্যই একসাথে আসবো। আর সো আজকে এইটুকুই ছিল। যদিও আমরা অনেক লেটে স্টার্ট করেছি, বাট উই made it to happen.
Sorry, I was too busy today. I had so many lessons. I had to run so many lessons today. And still I have to work at least 3 more hours to finish my clerical work. So people used to say, man job finish at setting sun, woman job is never done. I think in Britain, self-employed people job never done. You always work. When you finish office work, you do clerical work. And if you run a training company like us, you got lots of legal responsibility. You have to finish so much job to accomplish your day-to-day activities. Thank you very much. যেখানে থাকুক, ভালো থাকুক, সুস্থ থাকুক, আর শুভ কামনায় আজকের মতো এখানে শেষ নিচ্ছি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
তো শ্রোতা বন্ধুরা, আজকে এইটুকুই ছিল। তো ভাই বলেছেন যে যে জায়গায় থাকেন ভালো থাকেন, সুস্থ থাকেন, আর অবশ্যই আমি একটা বলবো রিল্যাক্স রেডিও টিভির সাথে থাকেন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।